Okay, so we are back for a new school year. We are about to this yeah, this is a brand new class recording in, so this should be amazing. All right. So we're going to go over our chapter 1 practice test. I've tweaked it from the years previously. Now, so just a reminder, for the retakes, you can retake any section of the test. You do not have to do the entire test. Okay? Only the highest score is going to be recorded. Okay, your grade can't, like if you make a 89 and you're trying to make a 90, and then all of a sudden you make lower on the retake, I'm not going to take the lower grade. It's going to stay the 89. Okay, now retakes are going to be in refuel. Okay, now am I in my classroom for refuel on Fridays? No. So that means the first time you could start to take it is going to be on Monday. And I will remind y'all a bunch. I don't really expect a whole bunch of people to come in Monday ready to take the test. I'll be prepared just in case, but we're going to go from there. Now, moving on. So, all right. So make sure, please always try to make sure your name's on your paper. Uh, I do know people in the FBI that actually does handwriting analysis. I don't want to contact them. Okay. So now you have a 33.3% chance of getting the A part right. Now, when this says 4 points each, this is what it means. I'm talking 4 points for each blank. So each A is 4 points, each B. That's 24 points just on this section. Okay. Now, I know. I don't know. Maybe I'm evil. Who knows? So, number one, what type of function is this? Linear. Okay. What about number two and number three? Okay. Now remember, there are telltale signs to see which one is which. If x doesn't have an exponent and there's no parentheses or bars, it has to be linear. Exactly. If x has an exponent, or if you see a little 2 up there, it has to be quadratic. And please, for the love of chocolate, please, hopefully you see that there's absolute value bars, and that will tell you its absolute value. Okay. Now, going back, well, they do call me the White Chocolate Thunder. So, all right, now, people. Now, so on number one, B, we have a 5 in the A spot. This means we have a stretch 5, and then it's a +2. So this is up 2. Now, again, you could write the word up. You could do the arrow. Please remember that I'm very simplistic. Do not like make a whole big description. Okay. Number two, the first number out there in each of these is going to be an A. This 4 is an A. This is going to be a stretch of 4. Now, we do not have a H in this one. H's for quadratics would be inside the parentheses. We don't have that. Okay. So we do have a K. It's negative. So this would be down 6. Okay. Like for the stretch, I've actually had somebody draw like a stick person stretching. I counted it because I knew exactly what they were talking about. Okay. Yes, I'm different. Now, right here, we do have a H. Remember, the H value is opposite. Okay, so this is actually a +3. so it goes to the right 3. And then our k value is plus 5, so this is up 5. Now, here's the reason why each of these blanks are worth 4 points apiece, okay? Let's say, for instance, you get the stretch part right, but this part wrong. Well, if this whole thing is 4 points, this would just be minus 1 point because you got the number wrong. Or if you had the number right and you tell me the wrong direction, or you have the direction right and you tell me the wrong number, it gives you more opportunities to be successful than to be penalized. Okay. That's kind of the reasoning behind this. Okay. It's almost like I want you to do well. That's crazy. All right. Are we good with part 1? Anybody need more time? Okay. Do remember that the completed notes and this video will be in Schoology today. Okay, which some of y'all that are new to the system, it won't matter because you cannot log in to anything. But you can always look up on YouTube because I'll be on there. Okay. All right. Huh? Yeah, I know. I'll tell you later. All right. So moving on. Now, this is the section that I have taken problems out. Okay. I think you only have like maybe 4 or 5 of these. Okay, because there's 16 problems on this practice test. There's 14 problems on the actual test. Okay. Now, for this one, we're translating this up 3 units. So we would actually add 3 units to the K. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Okay. Now, number 5, this is the one that usually gets a lot of people because you're like, vertical stretch. I know that's my A value, that there's already a number there. You just multiply. Okay. So, some of y'all, I think, as you've done stuff this past week, you've looked at it and like, why am I trying to make this too hard? That happens, especially if you've had another teacher that it's really been difficult. I am not that type person. I'm super simplistic. Okay. Now, when you reflect about the x-axis, okay, the x-axis changes these signs right here. This is when you would multiply these by -1. Just these two, the A and the K, A and the K. So instead of being a -3 now, this is a +3. Instead of being a +2, this is now a -2. Nothing else changes. Okay. Because remember, we're flipping it around that bar, that X value bar. It's going bloop, 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 bloop. Okay. All right. Number 7, believe it or not, number 7 is actually I think it is the easiest one of this section. I said me. Notice how I told y'all beforehand, if you say this is easy, add to me to it for me. Okay. All it does is change that sign right there. So everything else is the same. The 7's the same. The squared's the same. The 8's the same. Instead of being a positive, it's a negative. That's it. That's the only thing that it changes. Some of you are like, oh. Some of y'all started stressing out way too early on this. Okay. Relax, breathe, smell the flowers, blow out the candles. Well, hopefully if you don't want to smell, you like bathe regularly, you use soap and deodorant, but potato. All right. So this one, we're translating it 5 units down. So we take our K value and subtract 5. X minus 6 quantity squared minus 4 because 1 minus 5 is negative 4. Okay. Some of y'all are like, he makes it look so easy. Think about it. I should make it look easy. I've done this longer than most of y'all have been alive. Okay. Not a lot of, I would agree with you. It's not like I go home and do this for fun. I get negative. I do not. All right. Reflected about the x-axis. That's the same thing like number 6. These two are related. We multiply those values. So we actually, instead of being a positive x, we have a negative x. Instead of being a positive 6, we have a negative 6. Okay. Bless you, I think. I think that was a sneeze. I don't know. We'll just go with it. I'm just very thankful that people that are watching this lovely channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the like, hit the bell. That not everybody can hear what else is going on in my classroom. Okay. Now, number 10. We actually had a handout about this last Thursday. It was the first handout you got. Just went real country on that one. It was on the back at the very top. Basically, all right, this is how y'all should remember. Who remembers when I picked up Miss Hidalgo and flipped her upside down? Okay. Yes, you especially did because that was you. A horizontal shrink is the same thing as a vertical stretch. Okay. But you multiply it by this bottom number. So we multiply this, what's out in front, by 5. Yes. Yes. Okay. And that's it. Yeah, I know some people, y'all are like, why is it that easy? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Almond Joy's got nuts. Mounds don't. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. All right. So some of y'all may be feeling better a little bit about part 2. This is also some of the stuff that on that time I give you when you come in to write stuff down on that other sheet of paper that you can just remember. This is when you should be making notes to yourself. You're writing a letter to your future self. If I was writing a letter like, hey, dingbat, you need to pay attention to this. Okay. I'm really mean to my future self. That makes me tough. All right. Now, all right. Part 3. I do know there are some issues, some typos on one of these. I'm sorry. I thought I fixed it. I did fix it on the test. Oh, by the way, I forgot to go over this. These are 2 points each. Some of them it's like one thing, it's 2 things. So if you miss one, basically if there's a mess up at any one of these where there's a color, that's where your points are going to come off. Okay. That way you won't miss it entirely. All right. Now, for this one, I give you 3 points for actually finding the equation. I give you 1 point for plugging in something for X. I did go ahead and double check on the test. I tell you which 2 points I want you to use. Okay. So I even did one better for that. Now, I did see a lot of this with y'all. Y'all did this, and then people chose a different points over here. Does anybody want to share which other point they used? Did everybody use 716? Not everybody. Some people did. Okay. So for their X2, Y2, they did 7 and 164. All right. Oh my goodness. So to find your M, remember there's 2 different ways. You could do the traditional way. or you could do it my way. It doesn't matter. Choose your own adventure. Okay. Handy dandy calculator. All right. So when I plug this in, I can plug it in all at once. I get 22. Okay. I think some people used other points. How many of y'all did not get a slope of 22? Okay. You used different points than I did, right? That's why on the test, I tell you exactly which points I want you to use. Okay. Yeah. What did you use instead of the 7 and the 164? You use this one? Okay. Let me double check it. Biscuits. Okay. I have to come see that because I actually got the same thing. Okay. Oh, okay. Got you. Now, either way, we should get 22. Now, we take our x1, y1, we plug it into this formula. Okay, you forgot to divide. Okay. Hey, I'm glad we're finding that now. Okay. So we're plugging in. This is 76. This is 22. That's not written very well. I'll fix it in a second. Oh, I can't write at all. All right. So let me fix this. Sorry. Third grade handwriting. X minus 3. All right. So we plug that in. We leave this alone because we're not dealing with it right now. We distribute. Pew, pew. So 22x minus 66. We add 76 to both sides. And we should, by the time we are done, end up, I'm trying to build the suspense as my laptop's about to die. I got it. Thank you, though. We should end up with this as our equation. Okay. Now, this is what was kind of funny. I had more people be able to write when they asked for help on this one today. I had more people, they got the equation, they didn't know how to answer B. So you got the more difficult part right. The easy part, you're like, I don't know. Okay. That would be Mr. Jeffries. All right. So, whoops, nope. All right. For B right here, we take this and we plug in 35. Okay. That's what you're going to do on the B part on both of these two problems each time. 22 parenthesis 35 plus 10. Bam! I got 780. Now, notice I didn't write 780 tickets. I didn't write so much dollars. I just wrote the number. And this is why. I made the problem. I'm going to read the problem. I should know that you're talking about tickets. Okay. I'm not going to count off if you don't write tickets. Now, how many of y'all feel a little bit better about that? Especially now that you know that I give you the points on these problems. Okay. Yeah. And remember, When you take the test tomorrow, that's not the final say. You get another chance. So I want you to relax about it a little bit, okay? I had two students last fall, and they're like they came in so relaxed that they were ended up making like 90s and higher on all the tests because they're like, I got a second chance. All right. Yes. That's the easy thing. Because what will happen sometimes, people will get so lost in the finding that equation, they're like, I don't know what to do on B. Yeah, it's all right. All right. Number 12. Yes, I already know this is bad. It's supposed to say write an equation. Okay. I didn't give you points on this one. So, you know, I will on the actual test. All right. Who wants to tell me which 2 points they used? All right. Evan? Okay. You did what I would have done. Let's just choose. Usually I'll choose the first two or the first one and the last one. Either one. Okay. All right. So for your M, you're going to have either way, 10 minus 6. Okay. I ended up getting 12 right here. Is that what you got? Because we used your points. Did anybody get a different slope? Okay. So it, all right. So we got our M. Let's use this as our X1, Y1 minus, whoops, 70, 12, X minus 6. Okay. So we've plugged that in. 12 times X is 12X. 12 times 6 is 72. Okay, good. All right. So from here, add 70, add 70. We should get y equals 12x minus 2. Okay. So that's our equation that we should have for A. That's why that one's worth more points. Okay. All right. For B, because B's right here, for 60 minutes, and yes, I know I need to be living this problem more than just doing it. I'm trying to do a little bit better. All right. So 12 times 60 minus 2. Well, I would just type that in the calculator because I want to. Okay, I also got 718. Now, the question says estimate the amount of calories. You said 718. You don't have to write calories. It's actually telling you that's how many. Okay, I know people that they wear their watches are like, well, I just burned this much calories. Okay, awesome. Okay. Yeah. Good luck. All right. She was never seen again. All right. Feel a little bit better with 11 and 12 now. They're actually, the directions are even better tomorrow. I hope. Huh? Oh, I will. I won't do it right now. I know better. No, y'all will sit there and try to get the problem, and then I have to look up a whole new problem, and that's not fair. All right. Now, part 4. Some of y'all for part 4, you were like, what the crap is this? Okay. Now, there is a reason that some of these words are all caps. They may be important. Now, when I'm saying obvious statement, think about how you were taught these methods. If I look here, I have a variable by itself. I said in substitution, look for the variable by itself. Okay, so you could put an X there, you could put a check. If you want to be super fancy, you could do a smiley face, do something to mark that. Okay, now to set up the first step, it's going to look like we had done them. And that's it. That's all you have to do for that one. You get 2 points for saying which method. You get 4 points for setting it up. You're not having to solve it. Did y'all get it? Are y'all excited? Okay. I don't know what's happening back there with y'all's family reunion. So, okay. Now, when I say obvious, think about the way what to look for, those different situations. Okay. Like if you look at me, you would say, obviously, he loves food. Okay. All right. Number 14, obvious to use. Some of y'all are slow on the uptake on that joke. These have the same terms, different signs. So that's why I said it's obvious for elimination. Okay. Now, there's a couple of ways that you could actually show the first steps. You could say, y is cancel, 3x equals 13. Some of y'all could like draw an arrow over here where you actually do that step. It's going to look different for everybody. Okay. If you have issues on how you should phrase it or write it tomorrow, please come ask. Some of y'all actually did that step. If you just draw me an arrow so I can follow along what you're doing, I'll be a happy pappy. Okay. Love it. Some of y'all are like, wow, that was. Okay. Now, number 15. I bet number 15 on the test tomorrow, or this one on the test tomorrow, may be kind of set up the same way. Now, I do have to fix the verbiage. See, golly, freaking Porky Pig. I just that word is now being deleted, so it actually makes more sense. Yeah. All right. Now, again, we're thinking obvious, easiest. WWJD, what would Jeffries do? Okay. The easiest to eliminate is actually going to be the X. Okay. What needs to be done to get rid of it? Some of y'all asked for help on this. Some people said multiply top by -1. Okay. Some of y'all said multiply bottom by -1. I saw people do this. anything like that. Just don't again, don't try to overthink what it is. If you are better at writing out the step like you would do in class, write out the step. Yes. Okay. So guess what? Some people will actually agree with you that the Y is easiest to eliminate. So if you pick Y, what would you have to do to eliminate the Y? Exactly. There is, as long as you pick which, I'm going to base your second part of this question should be based on which variable you choose. Okay. This is one of these that the correct answer depends on how you think. Some of y'all are like, oh crap. All right. Yeah. Cause how many of y'all like talk to your table people and you're like, so what did you do on this one? What did you do on 15? I did this. And you're like, no, that's not what I did. Okay. This is a individual situation. And these points will be based on what you say right here. Okay. Now y'all feel a little bit better about that. That one was kind of different. But if you think about it, it's kind of like how we did them in class. Crazy. Crazy. All right. The last one. Solve the following. X equals Y equals. I told you I was going to do that. So you should know that there should be two answers. Again, it doesn't matter how you solve it. If Mr. Jeffries does elimination and I leave the bottom the same, because there's multiple different ways you could do this. Okay. You're going to end up with negative Y equals 1. Yep, thank you. I think I did that wrong in your paper, Evan. Sorry. So Y equals negative 1. And I can find X. I could use the top. And I would say X plus 4 times negative 1 equals 5. Well, this is X plus, or X minus 4. Shucks. You know, you add. All right. And then you get 9. Now, number 16 is also set up very easily to move it to substitution, correct? How many of y'all did substitution? Okay. So if you did substitution, you probably took the top and solved for X, right? Go away. So you would have X equals negative 4Y plus 5. You would have plugged it in like this. And solved, and we should have got the same answer. Okay, now for those watching at home, I'm going to sign off. We're going to discuss some things in class that you probably don't need to know about. Okay, just kidding. All right, don't forget, hit subscribe, hit the like, hit the bell. Good stuff, good things. Roll Tide.